yourself and tell us, how has the climate emergency affected the Douglas County Clerk and Recorder's Office?
Thank you for having me, Charles. One of the things that I have in my background is tenure with the meteorology department at KWGN-TV. And one of the things we learn in meteorology is the jet stream and how high pressure goes clockwise and brings in warm air from Colorado up from the southwest. We have in Colorado seen a tremendous increase in hot days, record-breaking days, and in forest fires. But we're not alone in that. Australia, Siberia, Sweden have all had raging forest fires, Canada as well. The reason for that is not a single thing. It's not, bark beetles or lightning. It's the static nature of the hot air that comes in over our plains and sits for longer. The reason it sits longer is that the jet stream is slowing just a little. When it does that, it brings in storms that linger, so we have flooding, and when we have droughts, the hot air comes in, forms a loop with the ground, and going between the clouds and the ground, you've got heating that doesn't stop overnight. It keeps building, and what that'll do is to dry out our forests. So for us, although bark beetles seem to be a terrible problem, and lightning is a precipitator of fires, we're really seeing the effects of global warming in droughts and in forest fires here, and it's a huge problem for us because we love the mountains, we love the forests, and we like to have homes in the forest. So that's one problem. I think my constituents are also probably interested in something that I'm interested in too, which is scuba diving. And oddly enough, even though we're landlocked here in Colorado, scuba diving is one of the top sports that people here in Colorado enjoy. I took my PADI training a long time ago, and in about the year 2002, went down to the Great Barrier Reef and swam with some scientists watching for not only the destruction by a certain type of starfish, but trying to quantify how badly the Great Barrier Reef was dying because of global warming. After that, we went to Fiji and talked with the natives there, and they said that they expected their scuba diving with the reefs to be gone in maybe a decade because global warming was warming the waters enough to kill the reef. And they kind of shrugged their shoulders, and I was just appalled. I've also done Grand Cayman, and the reefs there over a period of 20 years have degraded horribly. What we're seeing is that maybe within the next 10 years, we're going to lose 90% of our coral reefs. It's a huge percentage. We get 50% of our oxygen from the oceans. And that's phytoplankton, and 2.63 billion, so that's billion with a B, people live on fish or things that they get from the ocean. When we have the ocean as a sink for the warming, it helps us. It helps us on the land because it takes some of the heat off, and it takes about 50% of the carbon that's generated by our industrial processes. And calcium carbonate uptake with the reefs and whatnot. But if we lose that, I'm afraid we lose everything. And people don't understand that if they live far away from the ocean. So I would just ask all of us to try and do whatever we can in a small way, whether it's skipping a meat meal a day or washing plastic bags, little things that people can do because global warming is a terrifying future. It really is. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Carol Johnson.
You did great.
Mwah.
You did great.
It was the grimace at the end. You got to cut out the grimace at the end.